back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
What's up, guys? So it's been many months since we've given you guys an update on where the building's at. Got out of shape, back in shape, back out of shape. Today we're gonna give you guys an update exactly where we're at, the progress we've made over the last few months. Last time we made a video, there was a hole in this floor. There's a huge slope that was in here, so we had to cut a big section of it out to level it for a tile floor. And in the process, we're like, why don't we put in a turntable? So turntable's in, test fitted the Raptor. I've had my crew cab F350 on here and it fits, so that's exciting. The whole idea behind this, like I think we already talked about it, but to have our customers' truck showcased here. So if you're doing a big build with us, you come to pick it up, this is where it's gonna be sitting for you guys to come and get the first reveal kind of thing. So I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Over here is our customer lounge, pretty much finished. We've got a lot of glass in this building, so you're kind of just in the central of everything that's going on around here. So we're gonna kind of have this set up in a way where you guys are comfortable. We're gonna get some couches in here, TV set up, get your own bathroom, and just kind of a place to hang out while you're waiting for your truck to get done. We've got a lot of customers that come out of town that just kind of, hang out, and this is kind of the place to do that. So, and then on the other side of this wall here is some more bays that we're gonna be kind of using to showcase different vehicles that we're either selling, different builds that we're kind of working on. So that's what's happening in here. We ended up polishing the floor, 8,000 grit, and then we did kind of like a tinted coat on it. So right now the floor is dirty, but it actually looks pretty good for like a 20-year-old floor. So over here you can see our service counter, still kind of wrapped up in plastic, but you kind of get the idea of it. Got some cool lighting built into it, some RGB lighting on the bottom, you can change color on. Basically 6 different workstations for our service reps, our service manager's office behind the service counter. So that's looking really good. Over here we have our coffee bar for you guys, anyone that's coming to either get work done or to visit. We have a whole coffee station over here. And then we have our parts counter back there with our parts department. These shitters turn out to be really nice too. Full towel on the wall, tile floor, nice backsplash, sink setup. So you can basically shit on the walls and just pressure wash it off. It'd be pretty handy. All right, so the whole idea behind this office here behind the service counter, there's a lot of times where customers come in and they want to have like, it's more than just a 5-10 minute conversation about what they want to do with their truck build. And some of that stuff is kind of annoying to do over a parts counter. Basically where you can sit down and chat. Like a lot of times, you're spending 20, 30, 40 grand on your truck. You don't want to do that over a parts counter. So it's where you can sit down and actually discuss all the different options, which they're endless. So that's the idea behind this is like, sure, this is nice for quick 5-10 minute conversations, but you want to talk about a bigger build project, that's where that's going to happen. This right here is now the fire door. It's closed. I think it's just to keep the dust off the glass, but basically, I'll show you. This is going to be open at all times. We put this glass door in here so, you're in here hanging out. You're actually able to see what's going on in the shop. Obviously, we got to have a door there because for insurance reasons, but you get the gist of it. You basically get a nice view of what's going on in the shop, the different builds we're working on, that sort of thing. So I like that touch because it kind of just ties everything in together. It separates it, but it's kind of ties it together at the same time. This door has to be in here. It's for the fire rating or whatever. If there was a fire, this door would just drop. It would separate the shop from the showroom. So as far as the lighting goes in here, I wanted to have a nice, cool pattern, but something that doesn't make the lighting annoying in your eyes kind of thing. So we came up with this design. I think these lights are super awesome, just the way they you can see how it reflects off the truck. So you got enough light. I mean, you got lots of light coming through the glass as well, but it lights up everything nicely, but it has a cool design to it. We put the track lights in as well, just kind of as a cool feature. This glass over here, it was all like the silver aluminum framing. We ended up painting that all black to just kind of tie everything in together. All black doors. We're gonna have a lot of trucks parked in here. We got to figure out exactly how we're gonna park the trucks in here because we obviously still want to showcase different products. So we'll have like an apparel section, we'll display different products, and then also have truck builds in here, trucks that are for sale or our trucks or customer trucks and stuff like that. So we'll try to kind of split it up with that. A lot of room in here to park trucks in here, which is kind of exciting because I pulled a couple trucks in the one time just to see because it kind of looks tight, but then you pull a couple trucks in, it's like, oh, there's actually a lot more room than it looks like. So, and then if you look up at the ceiling, we put a whole sound system in this building. So we got a ton of speakers up here, subwoofers up here as well in the shop. Different offices have sound systems in them. So it should be a kind of a cool vibe to have kind of music going, good lights, cool stuff on display, kind of wrap the whole vibe in together kind of thing. All right, so this is the boardroom. I'm not sure what the size of this thing is, but we got a massive TV going up on the wall here to watch movies, and I'm just kidding. It's supposed to be so we can have Zoom meetings. You know, a lot of times we have a lot of remote employees all over the place. So this is kind of bring everyone together in one room. We're obviously gonna watch Jamie's badass videos on the screen a lot too. Shout out to Jamie. Yeah, so that's the idea behind this. Again, lots of glass to kind of tie everything in together. So when you're here at the facility, within, you know, everything that's going on. So yeah, these are all of our offices are pretty much finished up now. We're just kind of cleaning everything up. This is basically the team that works behind the scenes. We've got our coffee bar, all the magic happens kind of thing. So starting to look really good. I like the lighting we put up in here. Kind of just gives an extra little touch. At first I was gonna get the same carpet, but that had some red streaks in it and stuff. And I figured it ended up being a little too much. I didn't want it to like look too busy. I was actually at the Calgary airport and they had the flooring I was gonna put in here. I walked through the airport the one time. I'm like, oh, that actually doesn't look as good as I thought it would. So I ended up taking this and I'm glad that I did. So more offices back here. This was gonna be my office. That was gonna be the business side. And this was supposed to be the fun side. The bar ended up being a little bigger than I expected it to be. We were kind of back and forth on the size of it. Maybe some miscommunication on my part, but anyways, because this is as big as it is, there wasn't enough room to kind of have a cool lounge area here. And so I decided to make my office over here so that on that end, we can put the lounge area and then this will be my office. So the guys put a hole in the wall. We're gonna put a big glass door in here and basically tie my office into this lounge area. So that was a recent kind of change of mind on my part. So we're gonna try to get this wrapped up at the same time as the rest of the building. It was a last minute idea. So over here we moved the fireplace from over there to here. We're gonna put like an 85-inch TV in here or whatever that is. With the whole sound system in here, separate entrance, a cool shitter. Pretty sure this is a bidet. Yeah, it will wash your rear and your front. Not sure how it's gonna do that, but the only thing that I don't like, I can't even remember because it's been so long, there's been so many different conversations. I wanted the toilets to be black because everything else is black, but there was something about that. I think it's kind of gross to have a black toilet because it kind of shows shit that you probably don't want to see on the toilet, but. All right, so we're in the shop now. Basically in here, probably already updated you guys, but we painted the walls, painted the ceilings, put in the sound system, which there's a ton of speakers in the shop. I'm sure the techs are gonna like that. And then we polished the floor. I'm pretty sure we polished this down to 4,000 grit, and then they put a coating on it. So it's actually not slippery like we thought it might be, which is good. The product they put on top, the sealer, is like takes oils and liquids and stuff, and it's not gonna stain the floors easily. You can't really tell right now because there's a ton of dust in here. And I've been like, every time I land in the parking lot, the helicopter and the doors are open, there's so much dust that comes in the building. So floor looks dirty right now, but I can't wait because our floor scrubber just showed up. It's a ride-on, and I'm gonna scrub this whole thing, and it's gonna be so much fun. I told the guys I wanna be the first guy to clean the floor, and then from there on after, they can take care of it. The hoists are gonna get moved from our current shop in here, and then we're also buying some additional hoists that are getting moved in here. So basically we're gonna have like a row of 4 hoists. They were originally facing straight, which when you're, you know, lifted trucks with big wheels that can't really turn, I'll be kind of a bitch to get in there. So we're gonna move them on an angle. We'll have 4 on this side, we'll have 5 on that side. So 9 hoists in this area, and then we have another 5 there. That technically gives us 14 hoists. Until we decide we need more, we're either gonna add onto the building, which we're already kind of talking about doing that, or put hoists in the front 4 bays. This here's the dyno bay. Originally, I was gonna kind of build this into a room, but I didn't really want to make the shop any more congested. So I decided to leave it open. We got really good ventilation. We got like a 6-inch riser coming to the ground that's tied into our makeup air system. So hopefully that keeps us out of the building, and it might be a little loud, but we'll just turn up the music. So this is the Mustang 1100 DE. This is like the baddest dyno you can get, and I'm really excited to be working off of this dyno. Currently running the Dyno Jet, which is also a good dyno, but I never ended up putting it in the floor, so the 4-post hoist is kind of just, it's annoying. So this is gonna be really nice to have an in-floor dyno. We're also working on a pretty big build right now that's 3,000 plus horsepower, so that will be fun. I'm excited to do that here on this dyno. So if it ends up being too loud in here, we'll end up building this room later, but for now we left it open. All right, so this is our lunch room. Obviously, we're gonna have lunch in here, but also kind of utilize this space for trainings and so on. Got a nice setup here, 4 microwaves, 2 dishwashers, big fridge going in there. I put a TV on the wall. I decided to put it up here as far as like, we're gonna put a lunchroom downstairs for like the office people, but I like that everyone has lunches together when we can. And the other thing is I hate the smell of foods, like warmed up food. I didn't want that in the showroom, so we're gonna do it up here. And no one's gonna smell it downstairs, which that will be good. We have these skylights. they were leaking. So we ended up having to fix those and re-drywalled. Ended up painting it to match the walls, which looks good. All right, so the exterior of the building is done, and I think it really tied in together really well. We went with like a dark gray at the bottom, black panel on top. It was stucco up top. So we resealed all that, put the moisture barrier wall or whatever you call it in there, and then we paneled it. And then we used the same panel on our big sign, except for in red. And I think that sign looks amazing. It really ties in everything together. We had like an original Lincoln little sign, and then there was a Ford sign. We got rid of those two. Put this sign in because of the winds we have out here some days. We had to put the screw piles like 36 feet down. So Access came out and did that and put the sign together. Turned out amazing. And then we put the LED strip up top. Live Electric's been doing all the electrical work out here and they've been killing it, and it looks amazing. So at night with the LED strip on, we got an LED strip around the whole sign, and the sign lights up. Looks amazing. And these freaking doors are awesome too. Like, I just love how they turned out. The black tinted glass, the black frame. You can see they're cleaning them right now, and they look sharp. So that turned out good. We ended up putting stamped concrete up front, kind of give us a pad to park the trucks on and kind of display them. Kind of did a tinted black concrete on that. And then we came out here and fixed all the potholes. So we had some drainage issues and stuff. Fixed that all up and just kind of resurfaced it, or put basically an actual top coat on it. It really just cleaned everything up really well. So the only thing with it now is it's black, and you can tell how easily it gets dirty. So to keep this place clean is gonna be fun, but it looks good when it's clean. So the other thing is the red curbs, not really a big fan of them. I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave them red. Some people like it. I don't know if I like it. I was kind of like, maybe we should paint them red. And then next morning I show up, and the guy had showed up at like 8 p.m. to paint them. And I'm like, oh, now they're red. I guess that works. Yeah, with just the top coat that we put on the parking lot, it just cleaned it up. To redo the whole parking lot was like $2 million. So we're just gonna try to use what we got here for a while before we invest that kind of money. Ended up leaving these rock mounts here to park trucks on. I was thinking about getting rid of them, but I'm like, they're already there. Let's see if we use them. If we don't, we can always tear them out later. And then we had gravel with weeds in this whole front area. Ended up getting a landscaping company to come out and dig it all up. We put in sod, we put in a sprinkler system, which was never blown out in the winter. So it was frozen, so we had to drill a new line to the building. And now we got sprinklers set up in here. In the next year, we might put in some trees and shrubs in here to really make it look good. But right now the grass has really just cleaned it up. So I'm really happy about that. But there's a helipad going on the roof at some point in time. I've been landing the helicopter in this parking lot. Parking lot's usually empty. So once we start actually working out of here, it might be a pain in the ass. So we're gonna put a helipad up on the roof. And we're kind of looking at maybe putting in an elevator to the roof, or we might put in a staircase. I'll weigh the options right now and see what makes the most sense. It's just gonna be once we're completed the rest of the project, because I don't want the helipad holding up the rest of the project. So that's what we're doing with that. We're hoping that we're all wrapped up within the next 2 weeks and be, ready to be moved in. You guys are gonna have to be patient with us because we'll probably be busy moving for a week and about 2 weeks from now. But once we're all moved in, hopefully you guys can come and check it out and hang out with us and come check out the new facility. It's too late in the year now to do a grand opening, so we're gonna save the grand opening for next spring. We have a lot of people from all over the US and places in Canada that are coming down for it. So we wanna give everyone enough heads up, and we don't really wanna do it with possible snow and everything else. So we're gonna save that for the spring, but come on by and check this place out once we're moved in. We'll announce once we're, ready and doors open here for business. And when we do, come check it out.
Represent, gotta do hella